Yo, what's good, YouTube? What's good, YouTube? You know, it's your boy, Mars.
And you know, it's your boy, Big So in the building.
So rude. And you know, we back with another gameplay reveal. This time, we doing Crash Bandicoot. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't played a Crash Bandicoot game since like PS2.
Bruh, but it's the nostalgia, bruh. That was my childhood.
Okay, well, you know when I'll get hyped? When they make me another Sonic Adventure, that's when I'll be hyped, right?
Ah, boo. They didn't ran them to the ground. Let's get into this Crash Bandicoot. He lit right now.
I ain't never heard that in my life.
Oh, look at this outfit.
Crash's outfit. It's so good.
The master of subtlety.
That's right.
Look at it.
Hey.
He's a charmer.
Hey everybody, welcome to PlayStation Underground. Before we introduce our developer guest from Toys for Bob, we're super excited to showcase a brand new cinematic from Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, featuring a certain character's very exciting return. So we'll stay quiet while playing that for you now.
Hey, you know, Crash baby
Thank
mama.
you so much.
Man,
Wait,
what?
Tawna? But you're different.
Oh,
You're not from our universe.
It's good to see you guys. It's been a long time for me.
We lost touch in your universe too, huh?
Yeah, you could say that.
What did we like, die or something?
That's
What?
that ratchet
No,
homie.
nope, no, definitely not. So how are things in your dimension?
The usual. A bunch of evil scientists attempting interdimensional domination.
Huh. So, what you collecting? Crystals? Gems?
Masks.
Ooh, fun. Well, good luck with that.
Wait, you're not coming?
Sorry, I fly solo. But I'll lend a hand where I can. In fact, I already have.
Oh.
Hey, tell you that's his baby mom.
bad.
Welcome
okay.
everybody to another episode of PlayStation Underground. You got Tim and Kristen here.
Hey.
And we are so excited to be joined by Lou Studdert, producer on Crash 4, It's About
Man,
Time,
they look
and Mandy
amazing.
Benanov, writer on the game. Thanks so much for
PS5
joining us
would
for
be
a look at Crash
amazing.
Bandicoot 4.
Yeah, glad to be back.
Great to be here.
Well, Lou and Mandy, we're absolutely honored to have you both on to reveal Tawna and Crash Bandicoot 4, first with that awesome cutscene, and now with a first look at her gameplay. So, where do we begin?
Yeah, so today we're
I
super
didn't know that
excited
was
to be on PlayStation Underground, revealing kind of our last playable character. This is Tawna.
Yeah.
Awesome. She's got a new style.
It's exciting to see her like in this version.
Yeah, no, she's, it was really exciting for us to kind of re-envision her role in the game. And so this is actually, as you saw in the cinematic at
real,
the
I
start
don't even
here,
remember her.
this is Tawna from another dimension. And so this is kind of our version of a unique, kind of playable version of Tawna.
Alt Tawna.
Yeah.
Tawna.
Yeah, this is great. And she's got it definitely, one thing that's been really cool seeing all the different playable characters for Crash 4 is, Crash and Coco have a very
got
traditional play style for, Crash Bandicoot, but then you have, Cortex who kind of uses his blaster to change enemies, and then recently revealed Dingo Dial and his vacuum cannon. So what sets Tawna apart, gameplay-wise that we're seeing here?
Yeah, so Tawna's kind of all about being like an action hero.
Yeah, she looks like it.
And so for her, she's actually got a couple of really unique maneuvers that
never
can
even got
change her gameplay when compared to Crash and Coco or the other playable characters. Primarily, she has what we call her hook shot. It's kind of a grappling hook that allows her to traverse the level really speedily. And then you can also see she's the only character that can wall jump. And so for her, it's all about kind of quick traversal and comboing these different maneuvers together.
Oh, there's that hook.
Cool.
Yeah, going from a rope swing to a hook shot to a rail grind to a wall jump. She's all about being fast, nimble in ways that the other characters aren't.
Nice. I love her design too, like just like the leg warmers and the hair. Like it's very like 80s action hero.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, that's actually something that our art team was really focused on, was kind of making her seem like she's been on adventures and she's kind of found, her own personal style and way forward in the world.
Yeah,
Nice.
and so we're seeing color splash out of her here. What's going on there?
Yeah, so this is actually a look at one of our newly revealed modes called Inverted Mode. And so it's our kind of souped up take on a mirror mode. And so what we've got is kind of an inverted level layout, but then also each of the dimensions has their own new and unique kind of art style and experience. And so this one that we're showing off today that Tawna's playing through is one where the world is black and white, but all of the actions that you do paint the environment.
Okay, very cool.
Man, gotta watch out for those sharks.
Yeah, it looks like, no matter what character you're playing in Crash 4, that familiar but, challenging but fair difficulty is there. I wanted to ask a question, Mandy, for you, what it was like revisiting a character like Tawna, who's familiar, but this is a different take, and, she's been kind of out of the picture for a little while. What was it like bringing her back in this new way?
The level design.
It was really cool. I mean, the nice thing about doing an alternate universe character is it's kind of a blank canvas. So obviously I had the art to go on as to what she looked like, but it was really fun trying to figure out who she was and what her place in the story was.
Sorry, I love this recycle bin.
Yeah. If you got to go, as long as you can be useful and repurposed in your, afterlife, that's good.
Yeah, in the future they can even reuse Bandicoot corpses.
That's good. You got to get resourceful. That's awesome. One thing I'm curious about is with the different characters being playable. Sort of, how does it work for, you pick up the game and you start playing? Is it like a linear progression of stages and you'll play different characters for different stages, or can you go back to the same levels as a different character? Kind of, how does it work for when folks are going to be playing it?
Sure. So the main adventure is a linear series of stages. We've kind of taken our cue from Crash Bandicoot 1, and we've got what we call the dimensional map, which is kind of this overview of the levels, and that allows us to introduce new mechanics and new characters along the way. Now, the three additional playable characters, Tawna, Cortex, and Dingodile, will be introduced with their own main level story to get you up to speed on how they play, what their movesets are, so we can kind of train you in how to play them and introduce their storylines. But from that point on, they actually are mostly in these optional levels that we call timelines. And so these timelines are these really fun levels where half of the level is playing as these unique characters in their own level section. And then you see how their story interacts with Crash and Coco.
Interesting. So it's more like this is like the sideline of what's happening?
Yes, exactly. And so it was kind of fun is, when we were working on this and, when Mandy was doing the writing and figuring out how we wanted to do this, we kind of joked, of each of these different characters have their own way of interacting, where Cortex being, a villain is doing stuff to hinder Crash and Coco, Dingodile is just kind of an accidental tourist in all of this, and so he's mostly just kind of causing havoc unknowingly. But then Tawna is all about almost being kind of like a guardian angel on the sidelines.
Aw. She's looking out for him.
That's awesome. And I like that it's kind of this interesting contrast to Cortex, who's kind of causing destruction that might hinder the progress of, Crash and Coco in their stages. But, the one thing I'm curious about, too, is from a gameplay and sort of narrative perspective, like, Tawna's, her abilities to, like, everything from her animations, whereas Crash might have sort of like a belly flop or something like that. She has this really, like, intentional ground pound. What does her new design sort of say about her as a character in Crash 4?
Sure. I mean, Mandy, do you want to speak to that?
Sure. I think the biggest thing is it speaks to her past in her universe, which you don't really see, but just the fact that she's an experienced, capable adventurer This really isn't her first rodeo, and so I think that really shows through her animations and her moveset and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Man, this underwater level is
Oh.
just I love how it, like she's kind
Only
of
got 3
slowed
lives
down enough
left.
to move a little bit more agilely, I guess.
Yeah. Is that another inverted level?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is actually the inverted version of this future dimension, and so it totally changes the way that the level feels.
It really does, yeah. I love that because it really just adds to the replayability of like you think you already know how this level runs, and then going through it again with this different style it just adds that extra layer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really fun because what we found is playing the Crash games, you build a muscle memory, and so you end up like you actually see, especially now that we have this death counter, you see your skill grow, but just by kind of replaying it and knowing the challenges. And so we wanted to create a mode that completely messed with that.
Yeah.
And completely made your muscle memory betray you, and you actually had to learn and relearn the levels over again to make it feel really fresh.
I love that.
No, that's really cool, and I'm also just a huge fan of seeing. I love wall jumps in game, and growing up with like side-scrolling platformers from like the 8 and 16-bit era, like just wall jumping it can be so liberating and requires such precision and skill. So it's fun to see that in a Crash game.
That's all right.
Also, it's fun to see enemies stacked on top of each other to try to take you out with flailing cutlasses. So yeah, what are we looking at now in terms of gameplay here?
Yeah, so we wanted to show off a little bit more Crash and Coco, of course. Just kind of,
Crash and his baby mama.
Make sure to know that they're in the game as well.
I'm loving her pirate costume.
Yeah, that's actually the other thing that we recently unveiled is that you can actually find gems in levels and kind of earn gems, and these gems are used level by level to unlock additional skins for the game. And so this is something that's it's not a microtransaction or a purchase. It's purely a game experience thing.
Hey,
but we
no
want to show off some of
micros.
those
That's what we
skins,
need.
especially the ones that are fun because they're themed to the world that you're in. And so
Finally
we started the
being
video
able to
taking a
break my
look at Tawna in kind of a pirate-themed dimension level. And here we've got Coco doing some similar exploration, but in a different level and wearing her awesome pirate outfit.
Nice.
Awesome.
I loved earlier when she was able to like whip one enemy right into the other.
Yeah.
So satisfying.
Yep.
And yeah, in the
Lifting
interest
the
of
box,
showing
yeah.
off the variety of Crash 4, I guess it's just worth noting that this is pre-recorded gameplay. We're not doing this live as we're talking, just because we did want to be able to kind of show a bunch of different examples of the gameplay all at once. But I'm loving this world and sort of the pirate theme.
Anything that lets you
and
train.
I did get a chance to play a little bit of Crash 4 and try these sort of like rail grinding sequences, and it's a lot of fun. One thing I really liked is that when you're controlling them underneath on the underside of the rail is that you have control over kind of where their body's angled, so you can kind of dodge incoming attacks. Oh, look at this outfit.
Crash's outfit. So good.
The master of subtlety.
That's right.
Look at it.
He's a charmer.
So is this his future get up?
That's right, yeah.
Okay.
Future Crash.
This is what we're all gonna look like in the future, so get used to it.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yep.
I don't think
Anything
so.
to make me feel
I'll say
alive.
Crash
you know,
was washed in the future.
what I could use. I love this. So this is the same sort of themed stage as we were looking at with Tawna underwater, but this is just its sort of default look. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes. So
Okay.
so this is
look
what we
at
call the
slow-mo.
snacks dimension,
Okay.
because this is kind of the culinary
Constantine.
capital of the universe. This is the Neon
Oh, that's
City,
different.
and there are food trucks throughout. And it's actually what we wanted to do was make a futuristic world that was ultra, happy and positive. We didn't want to make, a super dark, depressing dystopia. And we actually went and, made this super fun, super vibrant, futuristic city. And we
Yeah.
actually have signage of different cultures and different languages represented, because this is just the hangout of the universe.
That's great, and we're also seeing some of the quantum mass gameplay here too. So that will change the different elements of the gameplay, from slowing time to phasing things in and out of reality and what have you. So one thing just worth
that
calling
made me
out
feel
there.
nauseous. I
All
don't
right,
know
so we're
why.
just about out of time.
What?
Lou, Mandy, thank you so much for joining us on PlayStation Underground.
Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yep, and Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, hits PS4 on October 2nd, 2020.
Oh Lord, switching like in midair like that when you have to jump and then like turn the level. Always, I die on that every time.
I feel like this game's gonna be like,
Yeah, I agree. I think it's gonna be good. I think just the limitations of the level designs when you have like a 2D, 3D type game like that, it's always a struggle. But y'all tell us what y'all think in the comments. Let me know if y'all think this it's a cop or if it's gonna be bad.
but until then, we out.
Peace.
Pick up!